Your man comes home and he's hungry. Would you wake up and make him a meal?
No.
Hell no, he can
Be
buy his own
independent.
shit.
Be independent.
No, he makes me a meal. What the fuck?
I didn't hear your answer.
I mean, I'm happily married. I'd make him a meal.
You'd make it?
Thanks, man.
No, take it back. I'll make the meal. I'll make the meal.
2 divorces.
Kids?
Yes.
How many
I have
kids?
3.
From how many fathers?
2. So I have 2 to my first marriage and then 1 from a guy I dated in high school.
And then question the 2 divorces. Who initiated them?
I did for both.
Briefly, what was the reason for the first one?
The first one, he was kind of manipulative and controlled.
Really quickly, how was he controlling?
I couldn't spend any money. I had to get permission to spend anything. I didn't work. I stayed at home. I had to cook. I had to clean. If I didn't have dinner ready when he expected it to be ready, he would be upset.
Okay, and you stayed home and he provided everything?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have dinner ready when he got home?
Well, I had to maintain 2 small children.
Did you have friends that you were allowed to go see?
His friends kind of became my friends. And one of our friends, and this is going to sound bad, who ended up being my second husband, stopped coming to our house because he said he didn't like the way he talked to me. And
Wait, so you started dating one of your buddy's good friends?
I know I'm not a good person.
Yeah, that's
like
bad.
I'm a bag. That's okay.
Wait, what?
She started banging her boyfriend's best friend.
No, they weren't best friends.
Well, they were close enough.
Let's get this straight. They were not best friends.
Not anymore, they're not.
Wait,
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that shit on my channel. You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. God damn! I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads. Where would you rank yourself on the marketplace?
8.
Out of what, 100?
Okay, what is it? What we rating from 1 to 10?
If you, yeah.
Okay, 9.
God damn! Okay, have a good day. If you had to rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 and you can't use 7, face only, no hair extensions, your natural hair, your natural face, what would you give yourself?
Interesting. 8.
Nope.
No?
No.
Okay, so if I wanted a high volume man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one. I'm gonna be honest, you can't.
I have a master's in public administration, and I have a law degree.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Dress size?
16.
You didn't choose to be single.
I'm sorry?
Do you have any kids?
No kids. My ex had 4, so I'm trying to, that's kind of big number. Oh my God.
Why'd you pop?
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but me, I typically don't like dating men without children, especially after a certain age. I just think it's weird, you know, and I have a child and I love children and God only gave me one, so I want to be with someone who has children. I've never dated a man that didn't have children. And it's a deal breaker than the average woman.
Gotcha.
So a man without children is weird to you?
After a certain age, yeah, I feel like after a certain age, you don't have no children. It's just strange to me. You know, like nobody owed you. Nobody took them genetics. You know, like I think it's strange. You know, so it's a personal preference.
No, that's good.
And why'd you pop your balloon?
As she talked a little more, I thought about the fact that I don't want any other kids, and I do only have 1 kid. So I think I would rather someone who had a kid already, just because I don't want to have any more, and I wouldn't want to date anybody who didn't have kids because they probably want kids.
Gotcha.
Okay.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to
be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like, your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do.
What pisses me off is the discourse around how women only go for the top 15% of men. Like, am I supposed to be going for the fat loser who doesn't have a job and lives at home? Am I supposed to be attracted to that? Obviously, I'm going to be attracted to the guy who's ambitious, the guy who's manly, the guy who takes care of himself and his health and works out, the guy who's tall, the guy who's going to give my kids good genetics. Why on earth would I be attracted to the fat loser? Or any loser for that matter. Even an average guy. Like, why, if I could pick the best of the best, why would I be attracted to the mid-tier? Like, hello. Especially if I'm a top quality girl. What happened to earning your place in this world? You're gonna be a loser in this life and then expect people to want you? Like, that's just common sense that that's not going to happen. Like, if I was fat and ugly, I would not be surprised that men are not going for me and instead they want the girls who are fit and beautiful. Like, I didn't earn to be on their level. I didn't earn to be wanted like that. So maybe instead of complaining that women only want the top 15%, work on becoming top 15% or somewhere near that number. Instead of sitting at home being a loser, trying to be a little victim.
My grandma said the only two things in life that you worry about, whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. If you're healthy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to get better, whether you're going to get worse. You get better, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to live, whether you're going to die. If you live, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you die, you got two things. Whether you're going to heaven, whether you're going to hell. If you go to heaven, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you got two things to worry about. Original or extra crispy?
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boogie back again with another live stream. Shout out to you guys for your support. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Do me a favor as you're coming in, just like the video, so that YouTube lets other people know that we're back in here again with another live stream. You can comment down below where you're watching from. We're about to be cooking. Okay, we have somebody new. Unity is strength. One, I've never seen you in the chat. Shout out to you. So I don't know if it's a woman or a man, but whatever you are, I appreciate you for being here with me. So shout out to you. You're the first person. Oh no, you're the second person in the chat. Loaded Locks Gaming was the first one in the chat. So Locks Gaming first in the chat, and then Unity second. So shout out to you. Let's get into it. You know, it's Friday. We have a lot to talk about. Also, I may have to, after my live stream, you guys may see me on a different panel. So we'll see whenever I'm done. But you see the title. The ladies are saying we still want the marriage. Of course, because who doesn't want their bills paid? But they don't want to be wives. So they're saying we want the marriage, but don't control us. Pay our bills, don't tell us what to do. Pay our bills, but let us act like as if we are still single in a marriage. Are the men going for it? I don't know. Some men do. Some men don't know any better. So some men still fall for it. But let's hear the ladies saying it themselves. So let's get into it. Yeah, they want the husbands. They don't want to be wives. Exactly right. Unity. All right, let's get into it. Let's get to the first video. And this one from Lapif, they're talking about how they respect their bosses more than they respect their husbands. You know how the boss will literally tell a female employee to make him a coffee, and she will make it so fast. He will tell her what to do, and she will do it so quick because he pays her. But the moment the man she sleeps next to tells her to make him a sandwich, she doesn't want to do it. She says she's tired. She says I'm not your mama. You're not the boss of me. Crazy. So they respect their bosses more than their husbands, more than their men, more than even their boyfriends. Some women have literally never made a meal for their boyfriends. Think about that. A woman will sleep with a man before she makes him a meal. Just think about it. That's crazy to think about, but it's real. Anyway, let's get into it.
Respect that. Hello?
Damn.
Can't do it.
You came out this motherfucker swinging, didn't you?
I'm just I land. I agree with you, Pearl, 100%. That is
I wasn't even gonna say that.
Men constantly, it seems like it's this full choir advocating for poly relationships, or just open and let them dibble and dabble. If you're a respectable woman, you're not gonna get down with that. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna say if you're a respectable woman, because I feel that there may be some women who are open to poly life that are respectable, right? That's just how they see things. There are women that have grown up in that type of culture where sister rise is a thing. For most of us, if you were raised on monogamy, you respect yourself, you're not gonna get down.
Yeah. So time. This is, I was just thinking this when you said it. So I would prefer a sister wife culture than a single mom culture any day.
Facts.
If we had to compare those two, I would prefer the sister wife culture over single mom culture as well.
Any day.
Just thinking about the children, right? It's more beneficial the children. And see, this is the thing, because when I think from my logical brain, I can understand the benefit of having multiple people in one household, multiple incomes. We can do more. We can build a community. But from an emotional and could I deal with this standpoint, no. And that might be selfish. It might be a really selfish answer.
It is selfish. It's human nature.
My truth. You know?
I mean, I admitted to my selfish shit when I was young. We all got our ways.
You know?
We all got our ways.
Keeping up with 2-3 women is crazy. I don't know. I'm not saying it for y'all. I understand why a man would, but just for me personally, like, I'm too busy for that. And then I got to treat all 3 of y'all equally, even though one of y'all gonna be my favorite. And I have a hard time treating my kids equally because one is my favorite. Like, I know I can do it with 3 girlfriends. That's crazy. But
kids that?
Huh? Hell yeah! My kids know who my favorite is. Most of them are old enough to understand it.
Damn.
Yes.
You bogus, Joe.
I
can't do that.
But no, Willie, do your kids have the opportunity?
This broke my heart.
Willie, do your kids have the opportunity to become your favorite?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Like, my mom had different favorites at different times.
Yeah,
like,
my daughter. Yeah, they all know that my daughter. With them, hey, Daddy, I'm hungry. Fix something in the refrigerator. My daughter, Daddy, can't. Let's go, baby. It's just.
Is that your only girl?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, if I had more than one girl, I'd stop having kids.
Oh, that's look at her face. She doesn't like that. But to be honest, if you're gonna have a girl, as a man, you have to be okay with the fact that one day she's gonna start dating, and the men are going to be sliding in her DMs, and the things you are doing with women, other men are probably gonna do with your daughter. You have to be okay with that.
My baby is a girl. So, but what do men need that women won't respect? Respect. Because with a lot of times, women respect men is conditional to how they feel. Like, women tell temporary truths. They respect you based on whatever the emotional state is at that time.
Yeah.
The only person in a woman's life that she will always respect and give the type of respect that her husband should get is the man that she works for, the man that's her boss. Because when she's at work, no matter how her night went, she's happy, she's kind, she's helpful, she's chipper, all of that shit, because her boss requires her to be that in that professional environment.
At least she fake.
But when she goes home, the man gets the leftovers.
Yeah.
He gets this motherfucking traffic, these kids. Let me tell you about what happened at work. I'm stressed out. So that's what a lot of women don't respect, is that they need respect in its purest form and not just the leftovers of what you have left to offer us based on whatever your circumstances are.
Facts.
Willie
I think it's really interesting that we
Here we go.
We'll talk about people being man haters, but we don't talk about all of these men who hate little boys, who grow up to be men.
What?
We don't talk about how y'all think it's a rite of passage to mistreat little boys who grow up to be men. Like, we just sat by and like listened to a man just say he prioritizes certain children and completely neglects his son.
He didn't say he neglects his son. He just says he has a favorite child. Every parent does have a favorite son or daughter. That's just human nature.
And prioritizes his daughter. Don't shake your head. That's what he fucking said.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
That is what he said. That is what he said. He said he has a favorite child. His other child could go fix their own self something to eat, and he would only care about what the fuck his daughter said. And here you are crashing out. Here you are crashing out about what another man said about his family that you cannot co-sign, that you're not a part of. This is exactly what I mean. Y'all will sit here.
But you can co-sign it.
Y'all will sit here and claim that you guys are for men, and these are haters, and these are man haters, and they hate men. What about y'all men who out here who hate boys, who torture little boys and bully them into adulthood, and they become injured men like y'all? They become injured small men who go on to harm other people because you guys do not make boys feel mentally safe as children at all. You don't care for them. You don't love on them. You don't listen to them. You don't empathize with them. And then they grow up to be injured like y'all. That's the part that, like, about this conversation every single time. And you're sitting here wanting to defend this grown-ass man. Why didn't you want to defend the boy he just said he fucking neglected? Why didn't you want to defend that? Why didn't you want to defend that? Why don't you want to defend that little boy? You'd rather defend this grown man that's on a panel instead of defending the little boy. Why don't you do that? That's my problem with y'all. You want to defend a dude whose balls dropped off, but you don't want to defend a little boy. You don't. That's my problem with y'all. This is weak behavior. This is exactly why we're saying this whole aspect of brotherhood is so problematic. Y'all will sit here and talk about how we're over complimenting each other and how we're saying that, we're doing too much. I will compliment Ty till she's blue in the face. Girl, I love your hair. I love your skin. It's popping. Girl, listen, I love your bangs. I love your locks. And I will continue to compliment y'all, but nothing I'm doing is as harmful as what y'all do to these little boys.
It is harmful because your women lie to each other about your looks. You don't hold each other accountable. You allow your friends to mistreat a man and you call her a queen. You allow delusion because your friend thinks she expects a man to pay all her bills. She expects a man who only makes millions of dollars to pay all her bills. And you just tell, go girl, you got it. You deserve everything. You don't hold each other accountable. So you complimenting a woman 1,000 times doesn't just because it is in a positive sense doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean you're doing anything good for her just by telling her lies. Using compliments. These feminists, oh my God.
And y'all just sat by and let it happen. That was some BS.
We just know that.
So Willie said something I thought was interesting. Plus, she's boring, so let's change the subject. Now, when you said earlier about you was talking about like cheating, I think that like cheating it's so much better. Like when you actually don't cheat or you don't deal with a bunch of women, like it's so much more peaceful in your life in general. Like not having to text with your phone sideways, like not having like allowing your girl to be able to play on your phone without thinking about a message about to pop up. Like actually your life will be so much more peaceful once you do get to a point where you're not necessarily interested in a bunch of women. So, I just want men to take that into consideration. If any other guys are, do get into that, you're going to have a much more peaceful life when you, yeah.
This man just put in the comments, let's change the subject. That'll hurt her ego. Come on. Like, text it on the back chat where I can't see it, friend.
To answer the question, I think men need sex on demand.
I guess I was right.
Thank you.
No, you're not right. I just see it. Like, how dumb can you be?
Oh, y'all. True was talking, y'all. True was talking.
I told you she's retarded. Like,
Y'all cut
And
him
you
off.
are rotund and you're
Hold on.
large.
Pretty.
that's cool.
No, he just called me a slur.
I know. I was talking to both of y'all. Let True. He was talking. So both of y'all cut it out.
Go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry, G.
No, you good. I think to answer the question, I think men need sex on demand and just access to it, at their leisure, at their level of appetite. And I don't know if women can actually respect that, because it seems like that may be selfish or overindulging or gluttonous, because clearly, you guys have emotions and lives and things and energy or whatever. But I don't know if women can actually respect that.
JR, you need to invite. I wish my was bigger. That motherfucker's funny. You need to invite them onto the panel. He's funny as shit.
Can you imagine going home to this? And she's a pretty woman. Nothing. I can't take that away from her, but her tongue is just foul. I'm afraid if she has sons, she's just gonna make them into male feminists. She hates men with a passion.
We do not need another you.
No, he way funnier than me. He's way funnier than me. Way funnier than me.
So I'm gonna say this. There's a real problem with using slurs that actually attack a certain community. Here's what I'm gonna say. It does not offend me that you want to call me retarded, because I have a higher IQ than you, and I have a lower BMI than you, and I have a lot longer life expectancy than you. Okay. So there's it doesn't offend me, but there are quite literally people who, when you use that R word, it is very offensive. And I get that people don't tone police, but I think it's really funny that I'm tone police by calling you round and plump, right? But you can quite literally attack an entire group of people who did nothing to you because you think I'm dumber than you. When, Willie, you have been unable to refute anything that I've said intellectually. Unable.
Because everything you say is about attacking men. Everything you say is wrong, is not right. Somebody says one thing and then you twist it into something extreme that nobody talked about. So there's nothing to refute, especially if you're not talking about the same thing people are talking about.
Right? You've called me names, sir. The last time we were on a panel together, you attacked my husband and my marriage and said, if I was in front of you, we would get hurt. That's what your rebuttal to me was I only said this because you're not in front of me and you couldn't physically attack me. That was what your rebuttal was. When I know I could run faster than you, you'd get winded. You couldn't catch me, right? So when we're sitting here trying to act as though I'm the one that's triggered, right. I've triggered every calorie in your body this entire time, right? That's why you look the way you do. That's why you're acting the way you do. But the fact of the matter is you're purposely trying to be inflammatory. And then people are muting and monitoring comments from people who are here supporting me, while you and all your supporters, they get to be as inflammatory as they want in the moment, right? And nobody is muting them. No one's tone policing them. But somehow I'm being tone policed. Let me make something very clear. You can't trigger me. There's nothing you say about me that's true in any way. You wish it.
You're triggered. If it wasn't true, if anything, if you're not triggered, you wouldn't be going back and forth with him, because Mont said, let's change the subject in the chat, and then you kept going and going and going. He's not even saying nothing back. So clearly you're triggered.
You wish I was what you said I was. But I know exactly who you are because you tell your story. You trauma dump on us about your 2-time divorce. I didn't tell you anything about my life. People only trauma dump when they feel triggered to do so. Right? That's the difference between you and I. So let's go ahead and pause it here, because I'll be retarded. But what I will never be is fucking pathetic. What I will never be is a twice divorcee from the same woman because I had no options. What I will never be is somebody who neglects their son. That's what I won't be. And then turns around and complains about man haters as an adult. Seek fucking therapy, Willie. And Mont, grow a fucking pair.
Mont got some shots. Look at Mont. Mont is hiding from the camera, but she still threw some shots at him. You guys see Mont right here? He was hiding. He thought she was safe, but she still threw bricks at him. She's like, get you one, nigga. Oh my God. Look at him. He was hiding. He didn't want to be part of the smoke, but she's like, I got you too, nigga.
There's not really much for me to respond to considering the source. And then again, I've seen your husband and your child, so there's nothing for me to talk about now. Like, if that's the man that you chose to marry and have a child with, tells me everything I need to know about you. But just also remember, when they were muting you in the chat, I told them not to. I said everything is fair game. I told them not to do it, said it's not fair. Don't mute her. Let her say what she needs to say. But at the end of the day, considering the source, there's not really a whole lot to respond to. Like, nothing that I said, that I said has been said. None of those points were made. And, she's fixing to go cry. And, her husband's
she cried. She probably cried because I'm reviewing this, but this happened maybe sometime this week or last week, Anyway, shout out to Lapif, man. I just haven't had a chance to go to Lapif. Yeah, Lux gave me right. She was triggered, like big time. All right, let me not bore you too much with that. So let's go to the next video. Like the videos, you're coming in, man. I appreciate you for joining me on this nice Friday. So let's cook. I got you another feminist. So if you don't like feminists, I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. If you don't like feminists, I'm just warning you right now. I got another feminist. So fair warned.
No, I don't think that.
What's the difference
That's
between
not
equity
fair. It's
and
not
equality?
equity. It's not fair.
So I wanted to bring out the definition of relational equity, which is what she's talking about. It says accumulated value, trust, and goodwill built within relationships through consistent, selfless investment of time and effort. There have been many times where we have talked on the panel with Jess, and she would always bring up about how women are complaining about the duties that they have to do, the effort that they have to put in.
That's not the connotation I said it in. If you're gonna quote me white girl now. Don't do that.
Cooking.
But what's the difference though as far as in the workplace?
Compared to the man just going to work and then coming home and not doing something. So with selfless effort, there shouldn't be no complaining, regardless of how long it takes for someone to return whatever it is that you're looking for. There have been so many times where we talk and it has been always women are doing the bulk of this, women are doing the bulk of that, but it's selfless investment.
Sure,
if you're talking about equity, you have to keep everything together. You can't just pick and choose.
Come on, love. Where are you getting that definition? Because the definition of equity and equality, that's not the definition that you're giving.
You're talking
I'm
about
confused.
equity in a relationship.
I'm talking about equity, period. I'm not putting no extras on it.
Can we go back to Eli's comment earlier about how the matriarch has taken over and it's no longer a patriarchal society? I would disagree with that, just because I think that the Black community has maybe turned into more of a matriarchy, but that's not true for every American community. And what I'm hearing Jess talk about is more like DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which we know is kind of like Marxism. And so
I'm not
when
talking
we
about
actually,
DEI either.
but it's that same sort of language, and
Y'all
it's
keep
just
telling
like
me what
that's
I'm
the
talking about.
problem with our society is,
That's what I'm talking
people
about.
just don't want to be true to what it is already we know to work. And so I think that when it comes to like the patriarchy, yes, maybe the Black community has turned into a matriarchy, and that's why we're seeing gay men speak up for us. And that's the problem, is that the Black community needs to return to its values. So
It can't return to its values if the women think they're better than men ever since they started making some money. If the women think they're better than men because they have degrees and a bunch of student loan debt, these women literally don't respect men who have trade jobs. They don't respect plumbers. They don't respect electricians. They don't respect Uber drivers. They don't respect men who work with their hands. They don't respect construction workers. They don't respect them because they don't have the usual college degree and a bunch of student loan debt. So until that happens, it's never going to go back.
So I just want to say this. I'm literally talking about the definition of equity versus equality. I'm not talking about no relational stuff. I'm not talking about DEI. That is not, we're not even talking about DEI
but
right
it's
now.
the
Just because
same
the
sort
word-
of liberal language, though. Like, it's
No,
obviously not
just-
helpful.
Just because the words could be used in DEI conversation doesn't mean that that's what I'm talking about. If you go to the definition of equity and equality, that's solely what I'm talking about.
So
That's
give us a
it.
definition.
Y'all
Give
adding
us-
extra to
give us
something that
your
I'm not adding
definition.
on to. Like
Okay,
y'all
so give us
adding
your
more.
definition of equity. Kamaya gave us a definition. Give us your definition of equity.
The definition of equity, give me 1 second here. Fairness with acknowledgement and differences. So when you talk about equity, you're talking about fairness. Equality,
Life is not fair.
it's the
though.
same rights, it's the same treatment, which is why I feel like we should be treating women and men, for an example, with equity and not equality in the workplace, because then you wouldn't have conversations like, well, if a
Fairness.
woman
You
can't
said-
do the
you-
same
you
job
said-
as a
you
man,
said
she
the
should get
word
paid
fairness.
less.
You said the word fairness.
That would mean they make less in the workplace then.
This
Then
is
that
let's
means
let's back up.
we're
Let's
not
back up
fair.
for a minute. Let's
Yeah.
back up for a minute. Let me ask a follow-up question. Is this only applicable in the workplace or is this in general?
In general.
Okay, so would you say that women have been unfairly given prison sentences that are tremendously more lenient than men because they are women versus, you know, guys that go to prison for an extended period of time for the same crimes? And you know, historically speaking, and if you look at the studies, it shows that when men or women are arrested, women tend to get more lenient crimes than men get.
That's a fact.
Ooh, I feel like that's such a deeper, okay, on the surface level, is that fair? No. But
Don't
okay,
want
I've
to be
heard
fair then.
terminology like this before, and I don't know if I'm gonna explain this the right way. But when we deal with men, like men, that's what y'all go. Y'all go hunt, y'all go out there, y'all go, like y'all could kill somebody and be like, all right, cool, I did it. But women, for a woman to get to that place, it just takes a whole nother level of like, we're not built to go out there and hunt and kill and do X, Y, and Z. So like, I just feel like on a surface level, is it fair? But I could also understand the logic in it. Like, I could understand something and not necessarily say it's fair and I agree, but I get it though.
I'm gonna tell you the
That's what I'm
logic.
saying.
But the thing is, when you use the word, you keep using the word fairness. It's not fair.
I just said it wasn't fair, Carmen. I said that.
No, but when you
Wait.
define the word equity, you kept saying the word fairness. It's not, because when
I said
you
it
have
wasn't
somebody
fair.
else,
We're
it
saying
was-
the same
it's not
thing.
fair. Not the
Wait,
people are- because we're
you
not
just
supposed to
literally proved the
equity.
point.
I said it
Exactly,
wasn't
that's what
fair.
I'm
I
saying.
said it. Y'all, okay. I feel
Exactly.
like
So
y'all
we're
doing this
not
on purpose.
supposed to.
I
You
said
should
it wasn't
just prove the
fair.
point.
Let me-
So
let-
the
let me-
point
let me-
where your environment, in order for us to thrive, if you want to be equal to men, equity, whatever you want to call it, we have to manipulate the environment in order for y'all to thrive in.
I just said it wasn't fair, y'all. I was just
But then,
explaining.
and then that defeats your whole argument. We're not supposed to be fair. We're not supposed to be fair.
She only wants fair between men and women when it benefits the woman. When it comes to fighting wars, when it comes to paying bills, when the check comes, they don't want to be fair to a man. They don't want to be on the same playing field as a man. But when it comes to getting paid and, you know, forgiving, being forgiven, not being held accountable, doing whatever they want to do, then they don't want to be are on the same playing field as a man, because that's the fairness we're talking about. So they pick and choose when they want the fairness. So shout out to the ladies, because at least it's not the man. It's not the man really trying to shut her down. It's other ladies. It's very rare, but I know for sure Kamaya is always going against Jess, something like, because Jess is a staunch feminist. For those of you who don't know.
It wasn't fair. What are y'all talking about?
You said
You
said I'm confusing you. You're confusing me because you literally.
If you listen instead of trying to
But
respond,
Jess, she's
you will
trying to say
understand.
that
I'm
women-
listening,
girl. I let you talk for a whole 5 minutes. I'm listening, but
just
you
because you
just
listen
hear
don't
your
mean
own
you're
damn self.
understanding.
Oh my God, here
I
goes.
want to come in.
You're not here to understand your damn self. That's what the problem is.
Give me a second.
Why you so tight,
Hold on,
love? I'm
hold
just
on.
saying.
Hold on, y'all. We can't hear everybody.
Not striking nerve.
I want to get Eli's.
That's
Eli, you said you had something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to come in on the whole prison system. So in prison, women are more of a liability than an asset.
How?
When a woman gets tired, she done, period. If a man gets tired, he's going to get beat, in every way. The prison system is a lot harsher on men than women. And women cost more money to house in prisons than men do. Women have more health issues, with their body in prison. A woman's body is a lot more complicated than a man, Jess. And I just want to say I love Jess. You know what I'm saying? Jess plugged me in with y'all, man. So shout out to Jess. But a woman's body is more complicated than a man. And I think a woman's body is more magnificent than a man also.
Oh.
Shout out to Jess again. They bring life into the world. But in the prison system, a man is going to make that system more money times 10 than a woman. So that's why on every first 48, the goal is to convince the woman to flip on the man. It's never to flip the man, to convince the man to tell on the woman. It's always to convince the woman to flip on the man so the woman gets a lesser sentence. Listen, I don't want to put my business out there, but I've seen.
Go ahead. Put your business.
No, I think the reason they use the women to flip against the men. So let's say man and woman get into some issues and they flip the men, they make the woman rat on the man, is because they know women are naturally selfish. They look out for themselves. They don't stand on no cause. They're not loyal. If a man and man who are friends commit a crime, they may, not all the time, but most importantly, most times they will stand on their 10 toes and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna rat on my brother. I'm just gonna stick it out. No ratting, no telling. There's a loyalty, like there's a level, there's a code, there's a bro code. Women, they're gonna rat on each other. They're gonna rat on the man, so they're more selfish.
No, because it's family. I've seen it. I got family that's committed.
Don't throw them under the bus.
I'm talking about female man that got a slap on the wrist. I'm talking about a slap on the wrist.
What they do?
I got 3 cousins that just got a week ago, a combined 50 years.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
What did they do?
Football numbers?
Eli,
Yeah,
what did they do?
less.
Eli, what did they do?
I don't know how to.
Just give us a taste.
No. I don't know how to, because it's still a
Murder.
Is nosy.
No.
Let me guess.
It wasn't a heinous crime.
Wait.
Don't answer it.
No, I'm just asking.
It wasn't a heinous crime, but what I'm saying is,
Incriminate yourself.
what I'm saying is that it all boils down to the money.
It's drugs, bro. Either drugs or scam. It's either drugs or scam.
No. It's not. It's not.
Oh, well, what was it?
It wasn't. but like I said,
Has something to do with school.
Shampoo, shut up.
I'm not telling you, Shampoo.
Has something
It
to do
all
with
boils
school.
down to the money. It all boils down to the money. The man is a much greater asset to the prison system than a woman is. Would you rather take care financially a man or a woman in a prison system? You're gonna get more production out of that man. That man.
But what difference does it make? Fair is fair.
Yeah, but we don't live in a fair society. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we going based off of what Jess is suggesting.
But money rules outside of God. Money rules the world. You know,
just because we say something should be doesn't mean that that's the reality.
Yes.
Yes, so I think things should be equitable. Yes,
but
they know.
For the sake of conversation, we're pretending, because we want to know what this looks like. We want to know what fair and equitable looks like. right?
I honestly think if we're going to go with equitable or equity, if a woman and a man do the same crime, then they should be sentenced the same thing.
But
Let me ask you another question.
It'll never happen.
Should women be required to sign up and get drafted in the case that we go to war?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No.
No. Let me continue. Should women also be put on the front lines right next to men in war?
No.
Why?
She said no.
They shouldn't. I don't agree. I've been quiet because I don't agree with any of
Well,
them.
hold on. But y'all vote. But hold on. Wait a minute. Let's explore this. But y'all vote matters the same, right? Y'all can determine who gets in the office that then makes the laws that will determine whether or not we all supposed to be on the front lines or not. So if we're talking about fair, I'm trying to understand, how is it fair when it's for you, but it's not fair when it's not in your favor, is what I'm saying.
I don't agree with it. So I don't think women should. I don't think women, if you're married, I think it should go back to the old days where your husband's vote was the only one that counted for the family. Like a lot of women. I mean, I'm a very traditional woman in a lot of ways. Y'all just don't get to see it.
In a lot of ways. You know what that means? She's traditional when it benefits her. Just remember that.
That ain't traditional.
It ain't a slave.
No,
I mean, no, that's not no slave. Like if
you want women to have the vote, you going back.
So Mimi, let me ask you this, because the times now are not how the times were back then, right? And there could be a slew of different reasons as to why that's the case, right? If women should not be allowed to vote, and we're gonna go with that hypothetical, then women should also have the ability to not work.
Yeah,
right?
girl, I want to stay home. I'm tired.
But a lot of women don't have that luxury, right? You and me both, okay?
True. This is true.
But a lot of women don't have that luxury.
The feminine movement robbed me of a lot of things.
Yeah.
It really did. And I mean, before we kind of went off on this tangent, I had all these things listed in my head, what of all the reasons why I feel like patriarchy, that femininity, actually, the feminine movement,
feminist,
it really robbed me personally, and I'm talking from a personal sense, of a lot of things.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. Just because you don't have the ability to determine what happens in your household, don't mean that you get to relax. Who told y'all that?
Oh no. I don't believe that I should be relaxing, but I would really like.
You said you was tired. You said you was tired.
I'm saying I don't mean that you don't get to work. Is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, these aren't the days where you can even survive on that.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna just lay around the house.
But no. But wait a minute. In the words of Eli, that means that you need to rely on the judgment of the person that you subject yourself to in order to determine what's best for your household, right?
They don't want to do that.
So how y'all gonna question? How you gonna question the leadership of the person that's over?
I'm not questioning the leadership of men. I'm over that. I used to be that way. I'm over that.
Either you gonna be all the way submissive, or you gonna give up your rights, or you gonna take them back. Which one?
Yeah, by the way, the responsibility come with the rights. It's like they're two halves to the same coin. So like it's like women got the rights, and then the responsibilities then come with it. So it's like you got the good side, but not the bad side. It's a little bit of a.
Do y'all want rights or no? Do y'all want rights or no?
I don't want no rights. No.
I'm good.
A few. I'd like a few.
I'm good. I'm good. If the ability to vote, like in the household, if my husband's vote counts, he can have the vote because 99% of the time I agree with him. Y'all just thinking about people.
Wait a minute, but what if he says, you know what, Carmen, I'm not feeling the idea of you being a stay-at-home mother anymore. I would like for you to go to work. Then what?
She's gonna say no.
I'll work for you, sure.
No. You don't get to choose. No.
I don't get to
choose. I get a say.
Then I can get to work. But then my question would be okay, let me go to work. Who carries the bulk of the responsibility?
No. That's not your concern. That's not your concern.
He wants you to
when you do your job at work, right? If you go to a regular job, you don't get to tell the supervisor, you don't get to tell the director, you don't get to tell the VP, you don't get to tell anybody that's above you how they're supposed to do their job. They tell you what you're supposed to do, then you go and execute. So when did y'all start feeling as though you should have some say so? And because if you're gonna give it up, and if you're gonna buy into the program, then that means that you're gonna give it up all the way, or because you can't be halfway. God don't like lukewarm; He either like hot or cold. Which one you want?
I'm gonna work. But Anton, we could say the same thing for men. To be quite honest with you,
let's stick on the women. These feminists always dies that. And you guys ever notice that the only time these feminists don't want to be feminists anymore, it has something to do with paying bills. It has something to do with finding a man to take care of their responsibilities. So, because it's not easy. A single woman who doesn't earn $1 million a year is probably going to have to work until she's 60, 70, 80 years old. But these women are finding out that, you know what, I don't want to have to slave away at a job for another 40 years, because, you know, men usually do that for their families. So these women are finding out the hard way that, you know what, I don't want to keep paying bills and clocking in and out every single day for the next 40 years. Let's say she's 30 years old. That's why they try to say, I don't want to be a feminist anymore. I want to find a man to pay my bills. They only hate being a feminist when it comes to paying the bills. That's why they're saying, oh, I want a man to take care of me. I'm tired of feminism, but I should have rights too. They pick and choose.
I was about to answer it. Honestly, a lot of women don't want to be out there in the workplace with men. We don't want to be doing all that shucking and jiving. We would rather be in the house taking care of the home, making sure.
It's about what he determines is best.
Exactly.
Okay, so if he's saying that I need to go out and work, then you can't have it both ways either, King. So my thing is, if I'm going out and I got to give you my half, then that means when I cook, you got to wash the dishes.
Women have always worked. They have always
They always did.
And they just, the roles might have been different. The jobs might have been different. What they did might have been different. But women have always worked. That don't mean that they got the opportunity to vote. That don't mean that they get to determine what happened in the household.
But their kind of jobs were different though, Anton. A lot of times back in the day, women were
secretaries and stuff.
Yes, it was hard. Even being a stay-at-home mother was rigorous.
Yeah.
They baked everything.
No laundry machine.
They had to wash the diapers.
No. Not this microwave.
Yep.
Not the same.
Yes, microwave, air fry.
Not DoorDash.
But a lot of the kids these days are a little bit
No.
special, so that makes it harder.
They actually really.
Yeah, that's because they're being raised by women. They are special kids because they're being raised by women like you.
Really hung the clothes up on the clothesline. They physically washed every piece of clothing. It wasn't no disposable diapers. They actually had to bake everything from scratch. They actually worked in the fields and went and picked their own vegetables. They taught their children. They walked them to school. Sometimes they actually worked in the schools that their children actually went to. It was real life. All of this that y'all got going on right now is different.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say this also from a spiritual standpoint. Back to Adam and Eve, because you got to go back to the start to understand how to move in the future. You got to study your history. Working was initially a punishment for men when they sinned. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, the punishment for women was pain during childbirth. God said that a man was going to have to work from the sweat of his brow. So that was our punishment when Adam sinned in the garden. A woman's punishment, look it up, Anton. A woman's punishment was pain during childbirth.
Yeah.
So when women fight to work, equally as men, I think a woman should be able to work if she want to work. But to want to work as equally as men and as much as men, you're basically serving our punishment and your own.
So Eli, can I ask you a question?
So yeah, go ahead.
All right. What do you think about these prostitutes in Nevada fighting to become the first the first in the U.S. to unionize?
I think prostitution was the first industry. Ever.
So you think that they should have unions?
Why not? You got OnlyFans. You got them being taxed. It's a profession. At this point, you for the longest they were being pimped and beat on and
arguing you right.
I'm not really sure where we're going right now, but give me a second. We got time. We got to get to the next subject. So let me read some of these super chats. and then I'm gonna introduce.
Yeah, at the end of the day, women want to work like men, want to get paid like men, but they still expect men to pay their bills. I don't have an issue with a woman working, whether she's married or in a relationship or single, as long as after she gets a paycheck, she doesn't save it and want to spend the man's money. That's where I have an issue with it. And I think that's where most men have an issue with it. Because when it's time for them to leave you, because remember, when they're saving their money, they can leave you whenever they want. I mean, you've been paying all their bills. That's if you're not married. Because if they've been saving their money and she divorces you, she can still tell the judge to give her some of your money, even if you are paying bills most of the time, majority of the time. So it's a win-win situation for them. And that's where men are saying, you know what, this is not fair. This is not a fair deal for me. You can't be working and expecting me to pay all the bills. And even in divorce, you want to take even the little money that I'm left with. You know, so they want it all, to be honest. They want to be in control of everything. And they want you as a man to say nothing about it. Right? So anyway, shout out to you guys for joining me. Shout out to, I see Okera 424. I can't say this name. 80 man. Oh my God, bro, you got your name. I can't say it, but I see in the chat. Anyway, let's get to the next video. Let's go back to the PIF. I got that right. Yeah. Guys, like the video so other people can join us. Because when you like the video for some reason, I guess YouTube lets other people know that we're in here cooking, and then they join us. It's nice Friday as we're cooking. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the feminist.
Clear. I just wanted her to clarify it. About she said that there has to be disrespect before cheating. I wanted her to clarify that, and I wanted to know if everybody else agreed with that.
I can expound. Whenever cheating happens, like, it doesn't just come, like, in my opinion, I consider cheating to be a form of emotional abuse. And so before you get to certain levels of abuse, there's initial types of abuse. There's negging, there's the putting down. You don't look the way you used to. You don't do what you used to. Oh, this is what I can get. This is what I think I'm deserving of. Whatever that may be. Oh, whoever makes this much money, they can do this for me. Like, there's going to be something else that is causing you to second guess your place and your position in their life. And that is a form of disrespect, especially as a partner, because, you know, he's not even listening. So, because I think that, like, when you are in a relationship with somebody, you probably shouldn't be comparing them to anybody else. You probably should be having a conversation with that person about what you miss about them. And, you know, maybe what's missing in the dialogue. But oftentimes, whenever somebody has their eye on the outside, whenever somebody else has their eye on the outside, then what that typically means is that they're already thinking about it. So before physical cheating happens, emotional cheating happens, disrespect happens, insecurity happens, all of that happens.
Okay. Well, I guess so from Trev's perspective, I think that makes sense, right? Where he says that men are cheating for specific reasons. From my perspective, it's untrue, because from where I come from.
Oh, you said that you cheat, period.
Yeah, like, no, I didn't say that I cheat. I didn't say that. But I said from where I come from, like, the culture is like, guy treat you like the best thing smoking. He's still gonna fuck something, you know? So, you know, I don't think it's necessarily like you're being disrespected in different ways. You can think that y'all have a great relationship and then just find out, like, you
Where
cheated
do you
on me.
come from?
I come from Philly. I come from, you know,
Ladies,
inner city.
never go there. That's the dark lands where the sun does not shine.
Yeah, but so I didn't mean specifically Philly. I just meant the inner city, at least the inner city Black culture that I come from, which is in different places.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, and it's the same, right? Growing up, that's just what, to a certain degree, right? It almost becomes so much of a cultural norm that women are made to believe we just have to deal with it. Like, men are just gonna cheat. It's just in their nature. It doesn't matter. He can be ugly. He can be fine. He can be in between. He cheating. right? That's just what you end up dealing with. So I agree with him on that one. And you don't have to have any cues beforehand. You don't have to be doing anything wrong. He just does it because he wants to.
Ugly niggas cheating is wild.
It happens though.
Yep.
Listen, and that it's always like
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that at all. I'm just saying that when I see it or when I think about it, there's certain niggas that I look at and I'm like, bro, you should probably not.
You should probably not, but they do. You know?
Honestly, I think the narrative that men cheat more than women, because they're making it seem as if women don't cheat. When somebody mentions cheating, both men and women only think about men. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. There must be, if you heard the word cheating, you would think they're talking about a man. But I believe women cheat more than men because they just never get caught. You feel me? So I think we need to change the narrative. Am I saying cheating is okay? I'm just saying the narrative that it's only men, because these women are speaking like as if they don't know that women cheat the same, if probably even more. It's because men get caught easily, and then the narrative runs that men cheat more. Oh, always cheating, but I think women cheat more.
No argument.
Is commitment a risk or responsibility?
Both.
I agree with Willie. It's both.
I look at some of the women that say they're married and have children and wonder like what the risk tolerance level that man has and why he didn't love himself, or like what value he has to place on himself to what he would marry that woman. And then I've seen men that I've gotten to know like outside of a surface level. And I'm like, bro, how do you have so many bitches? Like, it just doesn't. And I'm not talking about like the regular smuggler chicks. Like, he got like women that niggas really want. And it just doesn't make sense to me. But then, so when I leave with curiosity a lot of in real life and just like, hey, I ask and he's like, man, shit, I dog these hoes and women like men to the dogs. Or I see the girl, like, what made you marry him? And she being real, she's like, he just came at the right time. Like, so, and that tells me that, again, a lot of women are settling. I can't commit to someone that I feel is a risk. If I feel you're a risk, the fact that, one, you have to earn my commitment because of everything that comes with it. So I'm not in the position where I'm in the inferior position as far as leverage goes. So before I can just be like, hey, I'll commit to you, I have to do a risk assessment on you. Like, I look at your character, all those other things. But then for my internal piece, like, am I attracted to you enough to where at this phase, because this is probably the last phase of my life, I don't think there's much more evolving that I can become as a man. So in this phase of my life, do you fit what I'm looking for? Because if you don't, then I understand that, again, being in a position that I've earned where I can be ultra hypergamous, I know that that'll happen. Like, I'm very, very transparent about it. I left my ex-wife for somebody else. No issue with it. That's because I wasn't going to cheat. That's how then, we got back together later. So I don't have an issue, doing it. But at the same time, I don't ever want someone to think like, oh, okay, well, yeah, just committing to somebody is easy, y'all, whatever. That's the craziest shit in the world. I don't think those two things are like even opposites in this particular situation.
All right, that's our tie hands first and then Pretty, whichever one.
I'm going to ask one question because Pretty had a hand up first. So, Willie, I just want to deep dive a little bit more if you want to expound.
Go ahead.
You left your ex-wife for somebody else because you felt like that was a level up and you didn't want to.
No, not because it was level up. Because my ex-wife was giving me she just wasn't doing what I needed her to do. And so when I say I left her, I filed for divorce and left. Right. And then
y'all got back together later?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Y'all still together now?
Fuck no. Yeah.
Should have known the first time, bro. That's crazy. File for divorce, get back together, and then divorced again. I mean, the first time. That's why I don't believe in men telling women what to do. Now, the narrative of tell her what to do, she should listen, things like that. No woman should listen to a man, and no man should tell a woman what to do. I know some guys are going to ask, what do you mean, Boogie? What I mean by that is, from the beginning of the relationship, when you guys meet, I'm assuming both of you have boundaries. So when you meet a woman and she meets you wherever you guys meet, and let's say you go on a date, or you're trying to get to know each other, you both have to set boundaries. Let's say a woman tells you, I like a man who's a provider. She shouldn't have to tell you to pay the bills. If she told you from the beginning she needs a man who's a provider. So you as a man, if you tell her your boundaries, let's say, I like a woman who cooks. I like a woman who doesn't withhold sex from me. I like a woman who doesn't talk back or who doesn't, yell at me. I don't like a woman who's loud. I don't like a woman who disrespects me. You shouldn't have to tell her what to do over and over and over again. The same way she's don't want to remind you that, hey, listen, the bills are due. You got to pay the rent. You got to buy food. You shouldn't tell her how to treat you. You already set the boundaries from the beginning. If she doesn't do it, out of the door. Either she leaves or you leave. But constantly have to tell her what to do. That's a headache. I'm telling you. That's why I say don't tell a woman what to do. She should know. You should have told her from the beginning, and that was it. That's it. You don't have to repeat yourself. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? Am I right? Am I wrong? But that's what I think, honestly. All right, let's get to the next video. Let's get to whatever podcast. Guys, like the video. It's Friday. We're in here. I don't know who else is live, but after here, I may join somebody else. So I'll probably join a different panel when I'm done here. Let's just go to the next video here real quick.
Let's see. Going back to your notes here, you said controlling ass men, like the ones on Secret Lives of More. So I don't know that show.
Secret Lives of what?
It's Mormon Wives. It's a show that's
You're too far. Please, come on.
Mormon Wives. It's a show that's out right now that's kind of popular.
Right.
I think I am.
Sorry.
But yeah, their husbands are just very, very controlling when it comes to that.
How does that mean?
For example, there was an episode where they went to Chippendales as like a fun little activity, and two of their husbands threatened like divorce.
So
because they went there.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I mean, you don't think that's a little controlling?
No, you
like,
don't
they
go to a
trust
fucking.
their wife?
My wife don't go to a Chippendales. You get to get a divorce.
Say it's like a bachelorette and it's a group of her friends.
No.
It's not her idea.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
why?
no.
Why do you feel that way?
Why? Wait a second. Why would it be okay for my wife to go look at naked men?
Because she's not touching them and she's not,
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So what? Why would
So you think that's grounds for like a divorce or just like a conversation?
Well, if I told her no, yeah. Well, here, let's reverse it, right? I think it would be fair grounds for her to put up the same boundary and say, no, you can't go to a strip club.
Yeah.
Of course not. It's ridiculous. You're married. You have, it's absolutely inappropriate for you to do that.
A lot of women have issues with their boyfriends or husbands either watching porn or going to the strip club. Most women would not be cool with it.
That's not even I mean, you're right, by the way. You're right about that. But the thing is I guess my issue here, my contention is, what is actually the problem there? Do you think that a woman has some unique right when she's married to go look at naked men?
The way that they felt was, well, you don't trust me. Like, I'm not going to do anything. I would never cheat. You've known me for this many years. We've been together this long. Like, have we not established trust? And that's why they were upset on the show.
I see. Well, my counter to that would just be this. Okay.
I got a counter too.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you get.
I meant I was going to go after you.
You started it. Are you?
Oh, no, I was going to go after you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So it comes down to the idea of just trust, right? And say, okay, well then I'm going to go buy a prostitute and I'm just going to sit up in the room with her and we're going to talk.
Well, one's public, I think, was the difference.
Why does that matter? Do you do realize that there's back rooms at a Chippendales and all those things, right?
Yeah, I think just one's more intent. Like a prostitute, like we all know what's going to happen.
Wait, why do we all know what's going to happen? Don't
because
you
that's
trust?
what you're paying
Don't you
for.
trust me?
But that's what you're paying.
Don't you?
Yeah,
trust
but I may just
me?
look at her.
That's
Why don't you trust me? Why don't you trust me?
To have sex with
I
you.
can't believe you don't trust me.
Right. But that's paying them to have sex with you.
Okay, what do you think about this?
I just told you I wasn't going to. You don't trust me. Why would you go to a Chippendales?
Have no moral compass. Overwhelming majority of the US population of men have some level of morality. However, I feel most men would avoid a woman in the woods, avoid a false allegation charge.
Desert Joe, good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you for the TTS. Very much appreciated.
But yeah, when we're going at it, I mean, you see how slippery that slope is, right? If I say, okay, well, I'm going to get a prostitute and I'm just going to talk with her. Don't you trust me?
But then why not just go to a strip club?
I don't understand why that matters.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to the strip club. He wants to buy a prostitute and just look at her. You should trust him, right? So we, ladies, why do you guys pick and choose? When you get married, and this is why I put the title is they want the marriage, but they don't want to be wives. Why would a wife want to go to a club to look at naked men? Your husband's naked body should be enough. If not, just stay in the open. Now, if it's open marriage, I would understand that. But I mean, we are cooked.
Don't you trust me?
One is the intent to sleep with someone. The other one's a strip club. You're just sitting there looking.
Wait. All that matters here is the trust.
But that's not what they were saying. One's like a public setting, like Chippendales. It's just they're on the stage. You're looking at them. Getting a prostitute, you know why you're.
How does a man know that that's what's going on?
At Chippendales?
Yeah.
Get a prostitute.
I got that. I have an example.
I'm sorry. At strip clubs, you know that this is true because you worked in these clubs. Don't women often prostitute themselves in the back strip clubs?
Yep, they do.
A portion of them.
Yeah.
How many people prostitute from a Chippendales?
No, they do it. They do it there too.
But if you get a prostitute on the street,
of course they do.
Something that is what
of course
they're
they
doing.
do that too. But that aside, right? Let's assume that they didn't.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about trust here.
Right. But it's different venues. You know what
So
I mean?
what?
If you're paying a prostitute.
It's
like,
trust.
it's a
Trust is trust. I just want to talk to her about my feelings about how you don't trust me.
That is
What's the
not
problem?
That's a wild statement. Yeah, that's completely different.
I don't understand. If it's trust, right? Then you say, trust me to go look at naked men and do nothing. Okay. Trust me. Hang on. Trust me to go sit in a room with a naked prostitute and do nothing.
I think one's a bit more logical because it makes more sense. Like
They're
you're at a
both. It's the
bachelorette
same
party.
logic.
You're at a bachelorette party with a bunch of your friends. You're a lot less likely. I would
Okay,
say.
great. I'll go in the room with a prostitute with two of my friends.
Exactly.
But everyone knows why you pay a prostitute, though.
Everyone knows why you pay a stripper, though.
But everyone knows why you pay to go to Chippendales. It's
Yeah,
to,
what are you
watch
paying
the
to go to
show.
Chippendales for?
To watch the show.
You want to watch a bunch of dicks in your face?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess her friend did.
I guess so. I guess so. Right? It's
That
like-
was, she's not even. You know, he's being facetious. He's just making a joke, testing our logic, but she can't even catch on. She can't even tell that. You know what? He's testing my logic. She just keeps going and going, and she can't see the double standard.
Okay, you can have a dick in your face, and I should trust you, but I can't go up into a room with two of my friends with a prostitute and talk to her about my day. What the fuck? I just can't believe how little trust you have for me.
None, not at all.
Unbelievable.
I had an example here I wanted to provide, and then Oksana, I'll have you come in. But I mean, maybe you don't like the example Andrew provided. So what about this one? You're married to a man, and he has an ex-girlfriend, and you're out of town, and he hangs out with her one-on-one alone. She comes over to the house, but he tells you, oh, nothing's going to happen. But you know for a fact that this woman actually has some sort of lingering romantic or sexual interest in your husband. Do you trust would you be okay with him one-on-one at night at your house, him hanging out with her?
I think it would be wrong on other end. I should do that.
Can you
and
be
he shouldn't
close?
do that.
Can you be closer?
He shouldn't go to a strip club, and you shouldn't go to a
That
strip
goes
club.
back to one's in public and one's like a show on a stage. Another one is someone who has feelings. And
So you'd be fine if he was hanging out with her in
But
public.
it's about trust.
I think it also comes into play what they're doing exactly. Like in this instance, it was for a bachelorette for her friend on a stage. They're watching the show, but the other one's like someone who has feelings
As long as
for
it's
them
as long as
at
it's
your
public,
house alone.
he can go out to dinner with his ex-girlfriend, right?
You know, there's all kinds.
Hang on, he can go out to dinner with his
That's
ex-girlfriend.
completely different.
Why? It's
because
public.
She went to this place to watch a show.
Yeah.
Another one's like an intimate.
And she went to this place to eat dinner.
Right. That's an intimate setting. This one is watching a show.
What do you mean?
on a
It's
stage.
public.
You buy tickets.
They can't eat dinner at Chippendales.
But one's more intimate.
Like what?
I guess I don't know. Maybe you can. But one's more intimate. One's like an intimate setting.
What
where
is
there's-
intimate about having lunch?
There's feelings. You just said there were feelings. for
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
existing.
just take. I'm just gonna take out that you don't know if there's feelings or not.
Mm-hmm.
You have no clue. It's okay for your ex or I'm sorry, your current boyfriend or husband to go have dinner with their ex, right?
There were feelings though, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? They did care
Oh.
about each other at one point.
Oh,
So,
got it. Okay.
but I mean, who
Got
knows?
it.
Maybe if there's
And that's and you would expect, of course, that since you would be not okay with that, he wouldn't be okay with it back.
no, and that's okay.
Of
I
course.
shouldn't do that.
So if he wasn't okay with you going and having floppy dicks in your face, right? What's the problem?
Shouldn't go either. Yeah.
But it was like a show up on a stage, I think was
So
the issue.
what?
And it was her
Oh my gosh, she keeps going on. I think she really likes to look at naked men. The only issue the only issue I have with this woman is I could see during the relationship she could start making up her own rules, and women do this all the time. At the beginning of the relationship, the man and woman have different rules for the relationship. As it goes, they start switching up, and that's where the sexless marriages and sexless relationships come from, because they start trying to take control. And oh, you're controlling me, because such things, something as easy as this, she's gonna call you controlling because you don't want her to go with her girlfriends to look at naked men, yet she doesn't want you to go to a strip club. And that's the issue with the relationship these days, man. Women just want full control. But then if you give them full control, they say men are not leaders anymore. So ladies, which is it? Do you want a man to fully control so that he does whatever you say? Or do you want him to lead you whenever it benefits you, whenever you feel like following him? I can't even imagine she's really going on and on about her man letting her go with her girlfriends to look at naked men. Imagine it was a man telling women to let their boyfriends go look at naked women in like a strip club or something. This is crazy. Anyway, shout out to Whatever Podcast. That's what I got for you. I wanted to show you guys how crazy relationships are becoming these days. You know, the days of men wanting to go to the strip club, and you know, maybe I guess women learn from men, because I can't even believe it. It's unbelievable that women are literally begging men to go to strip clubs and look at naked men. Crazy times. Anyway, let me take you to Ashley so that you see this guy who came in Ashley's channel to argue with Ashley about dating. All right. No, this woman is this single mom who said men should pay for her babysitter. You're gonna see. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Let's go.
What brings you up?
Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, so please, if I talk fast or sound jittery, y'all please bear with me.
Okay.
So I do make content on a regular. I have over 10 streams of income, 8 businesses.
Okay, both.
Thank you. I also have 2 baby fathers. My first child I had at 16, didn't know any better. My second one, we was together for 7 years, and this part kind of shaped me up a little bit. We was together for 7 years. Everything perfect, like all the way up until year 3 or 4. Once year 4 comes in, abuse, alcoholism, abuse in front of the kids happen. And I made a video because I had so many people DMing me trying to take me out on dates and stuff. So I kind of am going viral right now because I made a video. I was mostly directing the video to men that keep trying to talk to me via social media. Like, well, I can't even take you serious. Like, you're DMing me trying to take me out. Like, I can't even take you serious for real. But so basically in the video, I was making I was basically saying in order to date me, you have to pay for the babysitter, because for one, I'm not trying to date me. The man is trying to date me. So if you know that I have kids and I have 3 toddlers, a 5, 4, and one, the youngest just turned 2, I'm not going to pay for the babysitter. So a lot of people gave me backlash saying like, oh, your baby daddy why would my baby daddy pay for a babysitter for you to take me out to a date? It sounds like you have no money.
Listen, I don't know why this don't make sense to a lot of you guys, but
let me explain something for me. And I can only speak for me as an individual woman. I'm a mom of 3 toddlers. 1, 2, 3. I also have a 17-year-old that's in college. I don't got time to talk to y'all. I understand, like, traditionally, y'all think every woman just wants to get married or wants to get fucked on or whatever the case may be, but I want to get rich. I am not rich at this moment. I am progressing to be rich. If you want my attention or access to me, you have to lighten the load that I am responsible for. I'm responsible for 4 humans, not including myself. So if you're not ready for that type of commitment or responsibility, please just don't waste my time, because you're not gonna fuck on me. You can't fuck me. But 9 times out of 10, I don't want to fuck you because I am thinking about money. I'm thinking about getting money to invest into trading, invest in stocks, invest in properties, invest in businesses.
How are you thinking about money and you got 4 kids? You have a 17-year-old and 3 little kids. So exactly how are you thinking about money? You're saying you don't want to have sex with men, but we have evidence of you having sex 4 times at least. The delusion.
Like, I'm the first one of my kind in my family. I'm the first one. So I don't need to be rude. I don't need to come off rude or arrogant or nonchalant, whatever the case may be. I am a lover's girl. At this time, I'm fully responsible for 3 toddlers financially. I think y'all are a little bit slow or just plain out stupid or just trolling, because who asks anybody to take care of another nigga's kids? I don't need help. My kids are well taken care of, baby. My kids are well taken care of. They're happy. Okay? Nobody said their dad don't take care of them. I said, I'm busy. I don't have time to go on a date with you little niggas that don't want to contribute. I'm too busy making money. I'm too busy running businesses. I'm too busy with my life that I don't care enough to think about spending time with a nigga. You see, why would I invite a nigga in my space when I'm paying for this shit? You're not paying for shit.
Right? So I make very good money. I'm not finna invest in a babysitter to spend time with a man when their intentions is 9 times out of 10 to smash.
I mean, you already smashed. You have 4 kids. Oh my God. If she was a virgin and she didn't have kids, I would be like, you know what? Okay, she's holding out. She's waiting till marriage. She's talking about, I don't want to smash. You already have 4 kids. This is the type of woman who's going to find a man and tell you to wait till marriage, even if she has 4 kids. And because if she has 4 kids and one is 17, she probably has 2, maybe 3 baby daddies. But she's going to make you, that nice guy, wait till after marriage. But in the meantime, every time she goes with you, you have to pay to give her money to pay for the babysitter for her kids. But the baby daddies are not doing nothing, because she's saying she's taking care of her kids, meaning the baby daddies are not in the picture. They're not helping out. But you, the new guy, you're going to pay for the babysitter for her own kids.
Mommy's on the phone right now. It never fails every time mommy's on the phone. Here comes.
I'm sure they want your attention now, yeah.
Okay, go lay down and watch TV for me, guys. I know. Play nicely. Stop fighting. Nope. Bye-bye. Go close the room. Okay, 5 minutes, okay? Close the room door for me, Papa. Give me 5 minutes and I got y'all. Okay, so the video, oh my God, so many people, oh my God, you have 4 kids. You don't have any value. You're used up and this and this and that. I'm used up because I denied you access before you even tried. Sounds like there's a bunch of men that are mad because I already told them that they don't qualify before they could even apply.
Yeah,
Bye. Go to your room. Bye. Thank you. Please, and close the door. You told me you was gonna give me 5 minutes. What happened?
And the only reason she thinks like this is because, and this is why I was telling you guys that just because a woman is a feminist, a woman hates men, a woman has 1,000 kids, doesn't mean she's not going to be delusional. The only reason she's delusional is because despite having 4 kids and multiple baby daddies, she still has many in her inbox. Because some men don't care. She's right that they just want to clap them cheeks. They're not trying to be stepdads. But the only reason she talks with such confidence and such ego is because there are still men who still want to hit on that. If the DMs dry out, so maybe whenever she's 45 or whatever, I don't know. Whenever the DMs dry out, that's when the ego comes down. But until then, every single mom believes she's better than women who don't have kids because men still want them.
You bye. Close the room. No. You too. You get in the room too. You can't close. Nico, go close. Yes. So basically, my first baby daddy, I was 16.
What you're feeling is like the pressure from going viral.
things up and get it off your chest. So you kind of need people to bounce ideas off of. Like, I get it. It's not easy going viral and hearing hundreds of opinions from, strangers about your life.
I've been viral before. I went viral for accidentally having one of my kids at home. So I go viral pretty often.
Okay.
So okay. I think when I made the video, I didn't really bring it to the attention like, hey, this video is for guys in my DM, when everybody thought that is for any man. First of all, I'm not going to choose any man to lay down with or have kids with. So for those that are asking, like, why didn't either one of my baby daddies marry me? The first one, I was 16.
Doesn't matter.
We clearly are not going to be in alignment 16 years later. Like,
yeah, but you still had a baby with him. Well, how about you don't have a baby unless the man puts a ring on it? Why don't you have a baby after you get married? Even after the first baby daddy, you had 3 more kids. So what's the excuse? You can't use the excuse, or I was too young, I was 16, we couldn't get married, but then you went on to have more kids with other men.
I was young, dumb, and stupid.
You're still
at the time.
Young and
I was in love with at 16. So of course, I had a baby. The next person I had 3 kids with, back to back. He knew what he was doing because, like I said, the alcoholism, the domestic violence didn't happen until year going on 4. So I've already had 2 kids at that point.
And you had a 3rd one.
Right. He proposed to me 2 times, but me, I know that I'm not going to say yes because there's things that you haven't dealt with. You have a lot of demons that I was his first real relationship. So for a man to lose his virginity late in age and dealing with somebody who had a 16-year-old, dealing with somebody who was 16 and became a mom at 16, we was not aligned.
But
I was cool with that. Like, I was cool with that. That wasn't important.
But here's my thing, Tiffany. If these are your standards, right? And you're like, hey, it's important that before I go out on a date, that the man I'm dating pays for the babysitting, and that is my standard, why not just stand on it? Like, I don't even think it needs a defense.
Well, there was a young lady named Chantel Simone that made a video on YouTube, and I asked her to invite me on the platform so she could ask me whatever questions that she wanted to ask. And so I actually sent you the video, and I sent you a DM asking if we could actually talk about it on your live.
Okay. So this brought you up. Okay, I'm going to go to your page too, Tiffany.
Yeah, on Instagram, Tiffany So Crystal. I got pictures and videos. My Reels tab is my resume. So, like, if you want to see what I'm into, the Reels. But if you want to see like my cutesy little dress stuff,
I'm on your TikTok though. Oh, Tiffany, I thought you was about to say. Okay, so you do a lot of content. Yeah, you do a lot of content.
Can y'all hear me? Is this okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I think they hung up. So the pictures on my page is like when I'm dressed up, going on dates or whatever the case may be. I'm
so you want people to know, like that video went viral, but what is it that you want people to know so they're clear about who you are?
They're gonna pay for the
what do you want them to know?
Well, I am the table. So no man can ask me what I bring to the table because I am the table. And regardless if I have 3 kids, 10 kids, 20 kids, like I'm still me outside of being a mom. So a man who's a high value man, 9 times out of 10, their kids are grown anyway. Like they don't care about how many kids you have. Now, I'm not speaking for every single body, but there's people out there that don't care because I've experienced those men. Like they don't care. They would marry me if I gave them the availability to marry me. And also I want to make a point. Not every woman, their end all be all is to be married. My end all be all is peace and happiness. So when I'm getting that,
no, your end all be all is to keep making kids. I can guarantee you, and she's a good looking light skinned lady for those of you who like the curls and the light skin. But I can guarantee you there's a man out there who's willing to pay for the babysitters. You know, there's a man out there who's willing to just prove her wrong and is gonna get her pregnant again if she didn't tie her tubes already. I can guarantee you in 5 years' time, we could check, and this woman has, because she now has 4 kids. In 5 years' time, we could check and she has 5 kids. I can guarantee you that. Because there are men out there who watch videos like this and they just want to prove that whatever she's talking about ain't shit. They will invest the money, they will invest the time just to make sure that they can prove that, I had that. But she thinks she's the prize. And like I said, she thinks she's the prize because men still want her.
I'm cool. Like,
So
I don't
you don't want marriage. Marriage is not important for you.
I'm not gonna be like, it's the end of the world if I get married, basically. Like, if I don't,
I could literally say the same thing about becoming a billionaire. It's not the end of the world if I don't become a billionaire. You know why? Because the chances are slim to none, and Slim died yesterday. The chances of me becoming a billionaire are slim to none. So she's saying her getting married is not the end of the world, but that's because the chances are very slim, especially with the type of man she wants. Because the type of man she wants, she has to get married to, has to be accepting to take care of 4 kids, including her. That's 5. If he has his own kids, let's say 2, 3, that's 7. Including himself, that's 8 people. That's the type of man she wants. But how many men want to take care of at least 6 people on average?
get married, I'm still gonna be happy. If I do get married, I'm still gonna be happy. But I have potential people that have interest in marrying me.
Yeah, but
okay, so why not follow through with that? If there's men who want to marry you, why not take them up on their offer?
Well, this is 2026. I became single May of last year.
Okay.
I'm not ready to get married. No. I was in a 7-year relationship and we had kids. So I can date, yes. And I tell men my intentions. I'm not dating right now with the intention of marriage. I'm dating
to get the chicks club.
Just to pass by time. Honestly, like I don't have random sex with people.
Just said it. She's saying too much, but what she means when a woman says, because most women at her age, most single moms want to date with intentions. But if a woman directly says, I'm just dating, I'm not dating to get married, I'm just dating to date, she means free food dinner dates and getting the chicks clapped. That's why I say the chances of her becoming a 5th-time baby mama are high.
Eggs. If I choose to have sex with somebody, that's 2 people having consensual agreement. Right. So there's nobody's business. But at the end of the day, I'm not the kind of woman that's gonna lay down with anybody. Just like the person that I had kids with, he's a provider. He took care of me the whole 7 years. But also, me not being bruised up, right? This mark on my neck is permanent. So, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a permanent mark. That's a war wound. Like my friend, after the situation happened, she thought that the person used a rope. And that was with the person's bare hands. And at the time, I was laying in the bed and he jumped on me. We were just having a conversation. Maybe I hit a nerve and the alcohol along with it, he just jumped on me and I had to use my feet to strengthen my legs. Good thing I've been working out and been in the gym. And that's why I look crazy too. I just got done working out. So it's a little workout outfit. But yeah, so that was a toxic environment. Like I'm not going to settle and spend the rest of my life with somebody just because we got 3 kids together.
That's fair. And it sounds like it was toxic. Like that's a toxic relationship. And it just sounds like you honestly need time. That's what it feels like. You've been through a lot. A lot has gone on. Like things need to just simmer, cool down. You need to just focus on you and your children. That's what I'm feeling right now.
And that's what I'm doing. And a lot of people, like I said, I have a lot of that. So a lot of people know like my history and stuff like that. So it's more so the people that don't know me like that don't follow, that ain't been keeping up, that got an opinion on something. And I didn't really have a question. I just was like, I had sent you a message and I've been on your live before. Like me and him, we had a great relationship at one point. Like we opened businesses together. Like
Wait, you came up here before?
Yes, I had long hair.
You did? Oh my, when you were in your kitchen, you said y'all just had a baby. Are you from Atlanta?
Yes, and we was looking.
And y'all had open relationship.
I like men and women.
Oh my God, it just dawned on me.
You're here for the dating show, and you said you're looking to add a girl to your relationship.
I like men and women. I've been with my husband for 4 years.
4
4 years is still so soon. She's still be in the honeymoon phase.
I've already been interested in women before the relationship, and I brought up a poly relationship to my husband. But at first, he didn't really understand what it was. We're both 32, Atlanta, Georgia, Metro Atlanta. He a Leo, and I'm a Virgo.
And what do you guys do for a living?
We have multiple businesses. I do life insurance, business credit, taxes, and then he has a car dealership and is in real estate.
How many kids do you guys have?
We have 4 total.
How old is your youngest child?
3 months.
Yeah. So, first of all, I don't even know how Ashley falls for this. She said she was in a toxic relationship, but here she was talking about back in the day how she wanted to add another female to the relationship. It seems to me like the reason they broke up is because she got jealous, because usually when women who are in open relationships and they invite a new woman to the relationship, if the woman is nicer to the guy is just going to go with the new woman. And then the first woman is going to get pissed off. And that's where the domestic violence and all that comes from. But at the end of the day, she's only telling a side of the story, playing victim. The man would literally have to come onto Ashley's channel and tell us exactly what happens, because she's playing victim. And I don't believe a word she says. I've been telling you guys, man or woman, if they tell me their side of the story, I need to hear the other person's side of the story. I need to sit with them, tell me what happened, and then let's find the truth in the middle. That's why I don't believe a word she says, especially when they play victim. But she has 4 kids. For those of you guys who like light-skinned women, she has 4 kids, and she's saying if you want to take her out, she doesn't want marriage, she just wants to date, clap them cheeks, but you got to pay for a babysitter. But the baby daddies are not doing any of that. So if you're up for it, this is what we have in the dating market. So when women are asking why men are not dating, and there's so many good women out here, this is the good woman they be talking about, I think. Anyway, shout out to Miss Mariam. I see you in the chat. Shout out to C Intelligent Neanderthal. Y'all have some crazy names. Anyway, let me go to the next video, but that's funny. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Hold on. Guys, like the video as I get the new next video on here. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get you some more crazy stuff out here. Did I review this? No, I didn't review that. All right. Oh no, not that one. All right. All right, here we go.
you think that there are certain things that men should be doing in relationship? And if they're not, you wouldn't consider them a real man, or do you also agree that the way of thinking is toxic?
I think that they're fundamentally things that a man should do. And I think we've gotten away from that and we need to will it back in. Everybody needs to get back on board with the way that things used to be, which is why I post a lot of animal videos, because all you gotta do is go to nature and they'll tell you how this shit's supposed to go. Go look at a wild fucking hyena will tell you how this shit's supposed to go. So I think that there's fundamentally things that a man should do. And then you start adding sprinkles on top, which I think are relative and that can be toxic. When you talk about provide, protect, understanding, things like that, creating safety, even like being patient, which we talked about, just more like soft skill. There are fundamentally things that a man should do. When you start getting toxic, it's like, oh, a real man would have called you back after. And it's like, now, girl, he may not have liked you. Maybe it just wasn't, but there are fundamentally, there's a starter kit a real man should do package. And I feel like we need to me, it's a staple and it's a standard. And I think we should get back to that.
What about you, Jay? Are there certain things in a relationship that you expect a man to do?
Of course.
What's that?
I feel like first of all, the statement depends on the topic.
Okay.
Because holding him accountable for not doing the certain things that you are looking for him to do or need him to do or probably expressed when y'all first started dating should be done. So I don't feel like it's as toxic as y'all make it seem to be.
Okay.
I think it could be just, if I may add, it can be a dangerous trope as well too, because when men talk about, oh, well, y'all, you want a YN or you want an emotional man? Like, do you want us to express ourselves and express our feelings? And when you start talking about a real man, I think it opts men out of other characteristics that they may offer that are valuable as well. As we talked about, it's not just about providing, protecting, and things like that. When you talk about just communicating, patience, I don't know if some women may consider that real man quality. So I think it can be a dangerous trope as well when you talk about that.
KD, what do you think? Do you think that there is certain things that define masculinity?
Of course.
Okay, what would those things be?
Well, let me go back to this. So when you talk about real man, whose definition? By whose definition?
That's my point.
Because unless there is a consistent definition across the board, who's to say that that definition is the right one? Mm-hmm. So you may need something from a guy, and if he doesn't do it, then he's not a real man. You may need something different. So we got to deal with that part.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. The danger of defining manhood for others. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. A real man. That's what they was talking about.
Yeah, JR, I think it was a Freudian slip by her, right? Because she was talking about in the wild, and then she mentioned hyenas, right? But hyenas are matriarchal, right? So even the example she used didn't make sense, right? And the real man trope is the same thing as they use leadership, you the leader, right? Men get called sassy from an emotional person with an emotional response when they deem him conveniently too emotional. And this is how real man is used as well.
So there's a few things that I was raising I brought, and I was actually glad that the man that was in the video said that we have to define what a man is, because quite frankly, there's a lot of definitions floating around in the ether about what a man should do, what a man should be. However, men define who they are. And we are, as women, I think we're supposed to be responsive to whatever that definition is. The other thing about it is that I'm going to speak from personal experience. My father was my example for how a man should act, how a man should be. The statistics don't lie. We have an absence of fathers in. Actually, I don't want to go for there, but it's a lot. The definition of man, I believe it first comes from a man witnessing who his father or how his father acts, and then it kind of goes, he develops himself over his, over the years. I find me stuttering because I'm like, there are so many things that are wrong with that clip, but I'm gonna start with the fact that you've got women talking about men being sassy. I've never heard of this, so thus.
You know, I listen to that lady sometimes. Like she's catching fire out here. I mean, Hamp really he picked it apart. That's why I was just like, you used hyenas. Like that's the word. Like literally, we use that to basically tell women they don't know anything about the development of men, right? So I think not only was it a Freudian slip, it was just indicative of how bad the mindset between of men and women are in modern day society. What a man should be like, just stop. And I think it has to do a lot with the presence of women in the mainstream space, always wanting to define everything. So we let them do that. We give them mics. We don't censor anything they say. We don't check them on anything. So who's to say when they can stop making assumptions about anything?
Yeah, they define a real man. And that's something that bothers me because men never define a real woman. The phrase is always a real man. I've never heard the phrase a real woman. I've heard the independent woman. I've heard the boss ass bitch. I've had the independent woman who doesn't need no man, because those two are different. If you didn't know, independent woman and independent woman who doesn't need a man, those are totally different. I've heard feminist. I've heard, all types of definitions for a woman, but we never hear what a real woman is. But they tell us what a real man is, even if they didn't grow up with a daddy in the house. And every time they define a real man, they define a real man who does what they want you to do. So it never involves holding them accountable, because if you hold them accountable, then you just hate women. You're not a real man. So I think we should go back to the times where men defined what a real man is. And then women, I guess, can define who a real woman is, and then we can pick and choose who we want to be with.
You know what I mean? They'll redefine anything if we give them the opportunity. So on this particular topic, though, I think women need to understand the development of men. And if you really want to look at what a man's supposed to be, let's put the quote air quotes on it. Just look at what a woman's natural expectations are of him.
Yep.
All right. So we can say a woman can pay her own bills, but do you really want to? There ain't no woman on this panel that would rather spend her own money than her man's money. Anybody feel like telling me I'm wrong? You can say that, but it's in your nature. If all the other women around you are being taken care of by their men, you won't feel as bold pulling out your own checkbook.
Fact.
That's what I'm saying. That's the game that women play. All right, men, the game that men play is he who has the most wins, the most things. The game that women play is he who is the best kept wins, right? So the development of men, women really need to understand. Don't infringe on the development of any man. Stand back. What are your expectations of him? You expect him to take care of his family? Stand back and let him do that. Don't ever stand in his way or anything that's
Don't tell him how to.
going to hinder his development in that fashion. Don't stand in front of him and say we're equals, because you're not. The expectations he has of you and the ones that you have of him are not equal. The pressure that he has on him to take care of the whole family, right? In fact, let me walk it back a little bit. Never call somebody your equal who's not standing next to you when it's time to take the blame. That's how we know men and women are not equal. A woman, I ain't never seen a woman stand in front of a man and say, it's all my fault, don't blame him. I ain't never in my life.
They hate accountability. He was right on that. Also, when they define a real man, so women always say they want a leader, but they want to tell you how to lead them. And that doesn't work. At that point, you're just a yes man. They claim men are not leaders, and then they tell men how to lead them or what to do. Because if you're telling somebody how to lead you, but you're telling them what to do, you're pretty much telling them how to lead you. But they don't want to follow. So it's confusing for men. So at some point, men are thinking, what's the point again? Why should I be a leader if either you're going to tell me what it, and it starts from the first date. So you meet a woman, you're like, hey, let's go on a date. And she starts telling you where to go. Now, if it's one thing if she's allergic to fish and she's telling you I'm allergic to seafood, don't take me to seafood places. I can understand that. But then now they're even telling you how much you should spend, where you should take her, how you should pick her up, what time, what day, like everything. They're leading you on everything, but at the same time, they want you to be a leader. And that never works out, right? Anyway, shout out to Lapeef. That was a good segment. Let me just get one more video for you guys. Okay. Guys, like the video. I may have time to go. This is a child support case. I haven't done one of these in a while, but hope you guys like this. This is a child support case, so you hope you guys like it. Just to show you, it usually doesn't happen, but for this time, the woman lost. All right. So,
in the interest of the Price children, what says the state?
The state's ready, Your Honor.
Trent Price,
And who are the children involved in this case?
Ella Price, and Slade Price.
And what are their ages?
Ella is 16 and Slade is 12.
Okay. In 2017, the two of you entered into an order that set child support and medical support to zero. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you explain what has changed since that time?
In that support, we were supposed to pay 50% of all medical bills, both sides. I have not received anything on medical bills since 17. And the kids have lived with me for the past year, 100% of the time.
Okay. And how are your children covered for health insurance?
It's through my wife's works insurance.
Okay. And how much do you pay per month for the whole family's insurance?
$1,400 a month. I'm looking through my notes to make sure I was correct. I'm sorry.
Okay. And how many people are covered under that insurance policy?
5 people.
Okay. And it includes the 2 children involved in this case. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any information about Ms. Patterson's employment, her current employment?
I know she's working at the Chamber of Commerce at this time.
Okay. Do you have any idea how much she makes monthly there?
I believe in the last hearing she said $30,000 a year. I don't know what her monthly is.
Okay. I'm sorry, going back to the health insurance, did that include dental insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then,
so he's paying everything almost.
Do you have any other information about rental properties that Ms. Patterson has?
On our Gray Cat here in Gray County, it shows she still owns 2, 713 Sumner, and I'd have to look here to tell you the other one. 717 East 16th.
Okay. And she was previously employed by Him and I Enterprise. Do you have any information about her current status?
On the internet, it shows that she's still listed as the sole owner.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add that I haven't asked you about?
No, ma'am. I think I'm good.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have any further questions of this witness.
Ms. Patterson, do you have any questions you want to ask Ms. Price, Mr. Price? If you do, they just need to be in the form of a question right now.
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Neal, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Ms. Patterson.
Ms. Patterson, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Go ahead, Ms. Neal.
Can you state your name for the record?
Courtney Patterson.
Okay. And in 2017, you and Mr. Price entered an order which set child support and medical support to zero. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Has Mr. Price sent documents relating to the healthcare expenses to you?
His wife has.
Okay. And you've received those?
Yes.
Okay. Have you paid for those expenses?
I responded with a letter on December 10th that says, I've received the correspondence of medical bills. As I wish to fulfill my potential obligation, I must request that you provide the necessary documentation as per our orders. In such that no insurance documentation has ever been provided, documentation of all insurance held, and the coinciding schedule of benefits from 30 days after May 16, 2017 judgment through the current policy are requested. Please furnish a true and correct copy of the health insurance policy or certification of a schedule of benefits. Also, all forms, receipts, bills, and statements reflecting the uninsured portion of healthcare expenses, as well as documentation from the insurance company of submitter and paid or denied claims from the submitted bills. And I did not receive a response to that.
Okay. And you haven't received any insurance cards or anything since that time?
No, I've received, I received a text copy of an insurance card sometime in, I believe 2019. Okay. I would have to check my text. I'm not certain on when that was. It might have been 2020. That's the only form of insurance I have been given, was a text copy of the card at a doctor's appointment for the children.
Okay. And as far as your current employment, can you explain where you're currently employed?
Tampa Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. And when did you begin that job?
November 8th of 2021.
And do you get paid salary?
Yes, I'm on salary, $30,000 a year.
Okay. And so that equates to $2,500 per month. Do you have any other income?
Mr. Price is correct. Those rental properties do say my name because it hasn't been transferred over. My parents purchased my rental properties in December because the loans were called by the bank. I'm not sure why they're not reflecting on the gray CAD yet, but we do have formal documentation of those being purchased, as well as Him and I Enterprises. I was given this job at the Chamber of Commerce on November 4th of 2021. I was offered the job, and that day before accepting the job, I signed all of Him and I Enterprises over to my husband, Mark Patterson, so there's no conflict of interest with the business. I've not received any income from Him and I Enterprises since July of 2021.
Okay.
And I submitted that income information.
Okay. And do you have any other income from any other sources?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so the rental properties, you're not receiving any type of income from those?
No, it goes out to my parents who have the notes on those.
Okay. And
that doesn't make sense. If the rental properties are in her name, but then her parents get the money, that doesn't make sense. That's still her money because they're in her name. So it doesn't matter whether it goes to the parents. It's still her property, her business. So that's some money. So it sounds like she wants more child support, but clearly she's already getting money from a job and rental properties. She should be the one paying child support.
And do you receive any of that money that they receive?
No, it pays the notes that they have taken.
Okay.
And I believe I don't have them with me, but I have formal documentation of them.
Okay.
Purchasing. They filed those with the state.
Okay. You previously were involved in Him and I Enterprise, and you said that ended in July of 2021. Is that right?
The company wasn't making enough money for me to take income after July. The last time I took income from that company was in July. I signed over all ownership of it when I took this job at the chamber in November.
Okay. And what were you doing in that with Him and I Enterprise?
I was the bookkeeper.
Okay. And how much were you making a salary, or how were you getting paid?
When I was able to take a paycheck, I took a paycheck. It wasn't consistent with the company.
And how much were you typically making per month when you took income?
3,000, I think. I'm not sure. I sent in my W-2s.
She's lying. She just doesn't seem believable. Nothing she says seems credible.
Last year, I took in $48,000 last year.
That's a lot of money.
Okay. And in 2020, how much did you take in from Him and I Enterprises?
I believe it was 96,000.
Wow.
Okay. And can you explain what changed between 2020 and 2021?
In 2020, we still had some of the COVID
But you made more money.
PPP money that was allowing us to keep employees and pay employees. And in 2021, most of that ran out and bills are due, and
She's lying.
there's just not enough money coming in
I
to
don't believe
continue paying me that kind of salary.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have any further questions of this witness.
What does Him and I do?
They were a pipeline construction company before Mr. Price started a competing company taking that contract. They now are a plant construction company.
Okay. Anything else you want me to know?
I think everything I needed was in my documents that I sent.
Okay, I didn't receive any documents.
Your Honor, would you like me to submit those documents to your email?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Mr. Price, did I hear you correctly say there are 5 people covered on your health insurance?
Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My
Ms. Patterson,
wife.
pardon?
Sorry. I was going to list it. I thought you wanted a list. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Ms. Patterson, do you have any health insurance available through the chamber?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the judge to rule.
Let me see if I've got those papers yet.
Your Honor, I just sent those documents.
Do you mind resending them to S Breeding?
Oh, okay.
At the same address?
I've submitted those to her.
Thank you.
Address. You're welcome.
Shelley, you should be getting another email. All right, anything else you want me to know? Does that include testimony, Ms. Neal?
Yes, Your Honor, the state rests.
All right, what are you requesting, Ms. Neal?
Your Honor, based on her salary information, I'm showing the guideline child support to be $476 per month, and then a step down to $381. And I believe the medical support, the 9% would be $250 per month, and then a step down to $125 per month.
Mr. Price, what do you think would be fair for me to do?
Whatever's fair. I mean, my problem is I'm out a lot of money on medical expenses that haven't been paid. I'm just trying to recruit some of that. I don't know what's fair, Your Honor. I just want to make sure that we're in the right lines, everything's showed and everything's proper. Does that make sense?
Ms. Patterson, what do you think would be fair for me to do?
Sounds like a fair judge.
Up until 2017, I was the primary caregiver of the children. And I was never recouped any of the bills, and often had to pay his half of the doctor bills because they weren't paid. And the doctor's office can verify that. The majority of the bills that they sent me were to take my children to a counselor that they also used through their attorney to testify in court with manipulated information.
Oh my God, here we go with a victimhood.
That is a hired witness. I've sent letters.
When was that court hearing?
2017.
Okay, tell me about what's happened since 2017.
They felt that gave them an opening that they had power with the judge, and they had
the tears about to come, the victim tears, the fake crocodile tears about to come. Also, did you guys catch how she talked about when they were in 2017, she paid some medical bills, but she didn't talk about who was paying the rent, who was buying the food, who was, buying school stuff and all those things that kids need. They don't only need medical. She didn't talk about that. She only mentioned the medical bills that she paid for. She didn't talk about what the man paid for.
Continued to, push that. They have continued taking the children to that woman. That's, like I said, that was the majority of the bills they're trying to recoup. That was like $8,000 to this therapist that they used as a witness. She works with their attorney with all of his clients. They have taken my children. They have taken my company, and they have taken my income.
The tears.
Because they can.
See?
Because they are friends with the judge.
The manipulation.
And that's why, if you can see, I don't know if you can see the previous hearing when we had the mediation, and Mr. Price said, we'll take it to Vanderpool because he knows that he can take it to Vanderpool. And he was excited to take this to Vanderpool, unaware that we would come
Ms.
to you
Patterson,
instead.
I'm concerned only with what's happened since the last order.
Exactly. Okay. You see how she tried to fake the tears because the judge is a woman too, because sisterhood, but the judge is not having none of that. Before, she wasn't faking the tears. And when the judge did ask her, do you have anything else to tell me? She didn't give this information. Now, when the judge is about to make a ruling, now the tears begin.
All of that has happened since the last order. I'm not sure. I apologize. I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. What would you like from me?
Okay. All right.
My income has decreased substantially
because you don't
due
want
to Mr. Price's intentional attack on my income. And for some reason, he knows he took on my income, but is still not willing to admit that in court that the income is not there anymore because of that.
She's blaming him now.
All right. Based on the testimony and evidence before me, then, I am ordering Ms. Patterson to pay Mr. Price child support of $468 per month, dropping then down to $374 once the oldest child emancipates. That's based on your salary at the chamber office. I'm ordering Ms. Patterson to pay Mr. Price $280 per month for health insurance, as well as half of any medical bills not covered by the insurance.
So like $700 so far.
I'm not going to address the medical bills. Those haven't been paid for. Mr. Price, if you want reimbursement for medicals, you have to look at your last order and request the AG's office to do a special pleading for the medical reimbursement. We'll clear it up from now on out. Everything is half and half.
That's fair. Because after she covers whatever he has been spending, then the judge says they can go half and half. That's fair. And that's what most men ask for. Because if we're sharing 50-50 custody, it should be 50-50 bills. Now, unless the man is making extra crazy income compared to the woman, then okay. But even then, if the kids come to the dad can take care of his own bills, maybe the main bills, but the dad shouldn't have to pay the woman's rent and things like that if she's working also, if they have 50-50 custody. And that's what most men ask for. Now, here come the tears.
Yes, ma'am.
You to send from now on out, you'll send Ms. Patterson the bills or copies of the bills on a regular basis, and she'll have 30 days then to reimburse her half. I'm going to waive court costs.
Thank you.
Is there any other relief I have not addressed, Ms. Neal?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's it. Thank you.
All right. And I don't have a drop down on the health insurance since it's actually costing $280 per child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Either of you gets access to some other kind of health insurance, it would be beneficial to everybody, I'm sure, to get a lower costing policy in effect. So if you do find one that you want to enroll the children on, what you'll need to do that costs less is let the AG's office know, and they'll file to modify the health insurance and order somebody to pay it, as well as correct the amounts for the cost.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Neal is going to prepare that order for my signature. I'll sign off on it. There is a period of 3 business days during which anybody can request a new hearing. If you request a new hearing, you get a hearing in front of Judge Vanderpool, and he would start over and make his own decision. But if nobody does that, this order starts to become final, and you should get a copy by email or by regular mail within at least 2 weeks. And Mr. Price, you need to give Ms. Patterson a copy of the card. So if she's got the children, she can use it. If there were to be an emergency, they could not get help, and even admitted to a hospital. So get her a copy of the card, and also a copy of the policy or an idea of the policy if there are doctors that are like it's a preferred medical or something like that, so she will know who accepts this insurance. It's available through your HR. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
He's
you.
a fair judge. I
All
like
right. Good luck to you all. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Runner.
I was a fair judge, but this is the first time I'm seeing a woman having to pay child support. But I think that's because the man is paying too much when it comes to the medical. He probably has the kids. I don't know, but I think so, because it's very rare for a woman to be ordered to pay child support unless she makes more. She either makes more money than the man, or he's keeping majority of the kids majority of the time. That's my guess. Anyway, shout out to you guys for watching. So I may go to Fadi's, because Fadi they have a live stream going on right now. They have a show going on right now. You guys may see me over there in not too far from now. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I may go join Fadi's channel in maybe half hour or so. So shout out to Miss Mariam. Yeah, Miss Mariam knows. You'll see me popping up. You'll just see the live stream on my channel very soon. I may go hang out with those guys and kick it. All right. Shout out to you guys for the support. Give me some time. Let me get a snack and then head over there. All right. Peace.